This is Stacy Marshall with Printwear Magazine.
Brian Walker with RTP Apparel.
This is Matt Vassallo with the RhinstoneWorld.com.
Richard Greaves with ScreenMaking.com.
And you are listening to the Two Regular Guys
Podcast. Hosted by Terry Combs
and Aaron Montgomery.
All right. Well, welcome to the show. It is Friday, October 9th, 2020. I'm Terry Combs. You can find me at terrycombs.com.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me at oursuccessgroup.com. Today, Terry, very special day. We'll be announcing the categories for the 8th annual. Can you believe that? 8th annual.
Crazy, huh?
8th annual 2020 REGGIE Awards. And then to wrap up the show, because as we always do at the last minute, we were like, oh, we don't have enough content. So we'll go into bonus time with this. But but we're going to do bringing back something that we haven't done for a while. And we're excited to see if we can get this rolling again. And we're going to need your guys' help. We'll talk about it at the end. But we're going to do It's 5 Things. So today, Terry and I are going to be taking turns talking about 5 important decisions to make to better your business. So looking forward to that as well. So you get bonus content today. One more thing here, Terry, before I get out of the way. So I'm all Two Regular Guy gear up. I got my mic flag. I got my shirt on. Let's see. I got my socks. I don't know if I'll show you. I've got my underwear. Oh, no, I'm not kidding. Okay. All right. I don't actually have Two Regular Guys underwear on. That'd be weird to have Terry's face on my butt.
Very weird. Yeah. In fact, let's stop talking about that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So Cindy King is checking in, says, good morning. I will be back. I'm having a candy meltdown, going to check my stash. So, all right. Hopefully she finds some candy. Ghosta checking in from Sweden. Appreciate you being here. Todd, good morning. Eric, the man, the myth, the legend, is in the comments as usual, and we appreciate everything he's doing. I know he's working on very little sleep, so any mistakes that happen today, they're my fault. All right, let's just go with that. And then lots of other folks checking in here. So we've got Wade and Rena and Charles and Alan and Jerry and Marshall and Mildry and Christine. We could go on and on and on. So getting all that in. Pam checking in says, is Brilliance up for awards? Terry, can you answer that question?
Well, it's time for you to make that decision because it is nomination day. So you can go to tworegularguys.com and Aaron will talk about where to find it. But you can make those nominations and see if we can have some awards for Brilliance. They won several last year.
Yeah, I was going to say they were all over it last year. So yeah, this is where we start off, and we're just introducing the categories. We're not going to get too deep into this because we're going to go deep into this in just a second. But we're just introducing the categories today. Then we'll have about, according to the countdown clock, about 27 days to nominate, and then we go from there. So, all right, let's see here. What news items do we have? Terry, next. Yeah. Okay. I was just looking at the calendar going, okay, is it really almost already October 16th? But next Friday, we will have the Decorators Community Party happening again. The topic will be dealing with employees and vendors. So just the same great fun Decorators Community Party that we always have, but wanted to bring some talking points to it. So that way we have a balance between the fun and it like it always used to be at the trade shows, Terry, when we'd sit around the bar. There was always some particular topic that came up during the day that we wanted to discuss, and then that always evolved or devolved, whichever way you want to look at it, from there. So that's
the crowd would get greater and smaller and greater and smaller.
Yeah.
Everybody had comments to make. So.
Yeah, come and go, and chicken wings were consumed. A couple of beers were taken in. So we're just trying to bring that whole experience virtual for you. And that's happening on October 16th at 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to go check it out, Eric, just put it up in the comments there, Eric. And it's also on the bottom of the screen. Look at that. Look at that guy. tworegularguys.com/party. We'll get you there, or party.html, either way. And let's see here. So Marcia asked Terry, from Action Engineering, did it devolve the later we were in the lobby bar?
It did, especially in Atlantic City at the Toga Bar.
the toga bar or the shoe bar too, over there across the way at was that a Sheraton across the street, I think.
Yeah, and I can't walk into that place without remembering Dane Clement walking in off the elevator going, Terry Combs, you wrote a book.
The toga bar and the shoe bar. Yes. Well, the shoe bar was hilarious because the way the acoustics worked, there was a spot on the back side of the bar where if you were back there and you were talking, everybody at the front could hear you just like they were standing next to you for whatever reason.
It was weird. Yeah.
So I always remembered sitting up front, just waiting to see who was going to be back there talking, and you could hear their conversation.
Just like they were next to you. You're right. That was bizarre.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, what do you got for us, Terry?
Well, I have a shout out to Ron Goodwin with Goodwin Graphics in Cohasset, Massachusetts. Hopefully I said that right, Ron. But Ron and I were chatting earlier this week, and he said he's a regular listener to the Two Regular Guys. And so just want to say we appreciate you, Ron. And Aaron and I love to hear from regulators. So make sure you reach out to us when you can. And we don't have a lot of in-person interaction, but great to talk to you guys on the phone. So thanks for listening, Ron.
Yeah, appreciate that, and appreciate all of the regulators. Those of you that are loyal listeners, you get the thanks to Christine Shreve. Actually, she helped us come up with it, or actually probably came up with it all. Helped us. She came up with it. We'll just leave credit where credit is due. So yes, definitely appreciate all the regulators. #regulators out there.
Well, yeah. And Aaron, Eric was up all night working on Project for Work, and you and I were up pretty late too. I was putting some comments in, and I noticed you started responding. So I was up working on a new book last night. But you and I were kind of joking about something. So here's our somber note for news items.
Yes.
All the regular listeners or watchers of The Walking Dead, like me, know that after every episode, there's another show called The Talking Dead, where nerds like myself discuss what happened in that night's episode. So one of my favorite segments is they have a memorial to everyone that died during that episode. And so as the Two Regular Guys, we should also reflect on COVID, just like The Walking Dead, and remember not because we have to remember all those new podcasts that were started during COVID and suddenly died because it's hard, right? It seems like such a good idea, but it's hard work. You have to work at it. And we were talking to Eric before the show, and how many episodes has he done on his new show?
37.
37, and he doesn't by himself. You and I have the out of, hey, you know what? I'm really busy today. I'm going to bail on this one, or vice versa. But this is in memory of all those podcasts that have come and gone.
Yeah. It is hard work, and we are very fortunate to have Eric helping us out. That is a huge help for sure. And you said he was up late working last night. He must have been working on Two Regular Guys stuff. I mean, that's.
I think no, I don't think he was, but. He puts in plenty of hours on Two Regular Guys. That's for
yes,
sure.
He does.
We definitely appreciate Eric E-Rich.
Yes. So when it's awards season, we will figure out an award that only Eric can win
for the best new online show between 35 and 40 episodes.
That's right. Christine says Women Plus Business is back. Nice. Good job. It did a great episode with Valerie Rowland this week. This week. I saw a little bit of that. I had to run in the middle of it, but definitely a great episode. I always love listening to Christine and checking that out. So, and Christine says, although I will agree that doing a podcast by yourself is tough. So, yeah. All right. So Terry, this is the part where this is what people really, really tune in for. I'm sure. I'm almost positive of it.
I'm starting to fear that's true, but
yeah, possibly. So it's dad joke time. And, this one is thanks to a good friend, Wade, and I'm going to get your last name wrong, I'm sure, Wade. It's Wade Knarr, Knarr. And apologize if I'm getting that wrong, but his company is called stickerdad.com. And he shared this with me. And this is actually a visual for those of you watching the visual as well. But I'll also read it to those podcast listeners out there. So here we go, Terry. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
All right. What do you call a pig that does karaoke?
No, it says karate on the screen.
Gosh, man. All right. I've ruined the dad joke already. Let's try that again. Terry, what do you call a pig that does karate?
I don't know what you call a pig that does karaoke or karate. So let's hear it.
The one that does karate, you call it a pork chop.
I love it.
Very good one. Thank you, Wade. Appreciate that. And
you probably got his last name right. That's why you had to trip over his joke.
Yeah, exactly. Screw up the name, get the joke right. Well, this time I maybe got the name right and screwed up the joke. Oh well. All right. Still a very good joke. Thanks again, Wade. All right, Terry. Well, let's keep moving forward here.
All right, Aaron. Before we go any further, let's thank everyone for checking out the Two Regular Guys podcast. If you are listening to the podcast version, we would appreciate you sharing with your friends so they can become regulators too. We would also love and appreciate you to review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, or wherever you're out there listening. And it's very helpful for us if you guys do that. We're always looking for new guests. If you or anyone would like to join us on the show, go to calendly.com/2. That's the number 2, Regular Guys, and give us your show idea, and we'll see about getting you on the show with us. If you are watching us right now, join in with comments and questions, and reach out to industry friends so they can join us as well. Sorry, Aaron, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, reach out, get on that Calendly thing, and again, we'll see if it's something that's going to. We're looking for programs that are a win-win. We want something that's going to bring a lot of value to the regulators and whatnot. So just because you enter on Calendly doesn't mean you're going to actually be on the Two Regular Guys. So I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that part, because I always feel bad saying, this isn't really for us.
Yeah, exactly. But you know who you are, and you know what our listeners are looking for. So
exactly. All right. Well, like Terry said, reach out to those industry friends and get in here so we can get these categories announced. But before we do that, let's just have a quick break for a word from my company real quick, if you don't mind, Terry.
All right.
Hey everyone, this is Aaron Montgomery. Yes, I'm the same guy you've been seeing over on Two Regular Guys. But today I wanted to share with you my business training company called Our Success Group that I'm part of with Todd Downing. We actually have 3 levels that allow us to provide resources that empower over 1,000 businesses to achieve their idea of success. Let's check them out real quick. So the first program we have is called the Success Tracker. The Success Tracker is a resource that helps people set and achieve 12-month goals. People who invest the $25 into the Success Tracker program will get specific goal-setting processes, encouragement, and support, as well as some fun swag along the way. It's a great introduction to the OSG community. The second program we have is our Success Group membership program. The OSG membership is for businesses who are ready to work towards achieving their idea of success. The membership includes a minimum of 24 live training sessions annually on proven success strategies, and you also get access to all of the past recorded training as well. And we also have a private member support group that you can participate in. The third program is the Masters of Success program. The Masters of Success is the inner circle of OSG. Businesses who are serious about putting their success in their own hands are investing in this program to get all of the great training and support from the membership, but they're also utilizing the Mastermind resource. The Mastermind resource gets you 6 quarterly Zoom calls that are led by myself and the OSG team. Masters of Success members pull each other up to success and achieve a level of accountability in their businesses that they have never had. Check out all of these programs at oursuccessgroup.com. All right. Well, appreciate it if you guys go check that out. But Terry, let's get into these REGGIEs. Are you ready for this? Are we ready for the
I'm ready.
announcement?
I can't believe that it's been 8 years. And, the first time we did this, Aaron, we were talking about there aren't any awards for the industry, and we talked about doing this, and we were both stunned at the response from the industry. So let's jump in.
Yeah. And when you say there weren't any awards for the industry, that meaning that, to me at least, the meaning there is that we were looking to have an awards program that was kind of a people's choice award, so to speak.
Exactly.
There obviously are some great awards that are out there, both from different groups and organizations and shows and things like that. So certainly don't want to take away anything from any of those folks, but those are all voted on by a panel and all this stuff. We wanted to kind of put something out there that has nothing to do with our opinions and our suggestions, right, and any of that stuff. We just want to provide a platform and let you guys, the regulators, the industry, the decorators community, tell us who we need to be, recognizing. And, it's been really cool because, Terry, you and I have met some people along the way that we didn't know before the REGGIEs, and
exactly right. Exactly.
You would think with the amount of years of experience you and I have, the fact that we are finding people that we had not met before is,
exactly. It's been awesome. We've met some folks who later on became guests on the show, and you're correct. I did misspeak. Awards of and by the people.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to correct you there, but I didn't.
No, you're exactly correct.
Wrinkle any feathers, because again, this is something that we want to just do for the industry, and again, we think all the other stuff that's out there is amazing. For example, just got done with the first annual Screen Printing Magazine. I think it was called Women in Print Awards, and they had 6 award winners there. Totally incredible, totally inspiring. So let's keep all that stuff going. But Terry, let's talk about this year. So this is our 8th year, and every year we want to try to learn and do better. So as Terry's mentioned, it's been great. It's been fun. We've met people. It's definitely about the fun. It's a chance to celebrate the industry, but we want to continue to kind of keep this going in the right direction. So a couple of new things for this year, not necessarily new, but just kind of, we're going to be a little more involved here, so to speak. So here's the first thing. When you go over to the nomination form, unlike years past where you could just nominate in whatever category you wanted and just kind of nominate and go, we want the folks that are going to be doing the nominating this year to not just go stuff one particular company. We want them to take some time and participate in this fully. So every single category, it is required that you put something in. Now, if for whatever reason, if you can't come up with somebody or you really don't have anything, I prefer you not to just take the easy way out. But if you need to put NA in there, we'll accept that. But all the rest of the fields, it's required to put something in there. And if it's just a bunch of like, oh, I'm just voting and I'm just going to nominate in this category and a whole bunch of NAs, we probably won't take that as a nomination. So sound good? Does that seem reasonable to everybody? Terry, is that am I being too harsh?
And we certainly don't want to discourage people going out and promoting voting for this company or that person. And in fact, we love to have folks out on social media saying, hey, or I've been nominated for this award, please go and support me. We encourage that. We have over the years had one company or another that's really promoted more than others, and you can't fault that. But we sure would like to have a really good cross section from the industry of companies and individuals and events that you've enjoyed and want to nominate. So the more people we get in there voting, I think the more fair it's going to be. So
yeah, totally.
So we have mailed a ballot to everyone in the industry. No, we haven't done that
because we need more ballots in the mail right now. That's exactly what the Postal Service needs, Terry. All right, that's good. Okay, so the second thing here is, so as this has grown, it's definitely some work on our side to make sure that we get it all done, and we're keeping things together. And again, we stay out of it completely as much as we can. So this is one of those things where and that was fine. But then as it grew, it kind of got a little harder to manage and stuff like that. And then I got into a situation where the fourth quarter for me was insane. I didn't even see my family for a good solid couple months. And so now that that's changed, I will have a little more time, and Terry and I'll be working together and maybe getting some help from poor Eric. He already does a ton, so probably won't dump much of this on him. But what the deal here is we've got a few categories where there's some specifics to it. And I won't give them away yet, but we can talk about them when we get there. But if you're going to nominate somebody for one of those categories where there's some specifics to it, or a product, oops, I gave it away, make sure that it fits the category, because we are going to actually do a little digging this year and verify some things before we put up some nominations. I think last year we maybe didn't do a good job of that and had a few people in some categories that people are like, are they really under 40?
Yeah, exactly. Because life hasn't been good to you, if that's the case.
Ouch. Totally. But we're going to, so what's going to happen with those nominations, if they don't fit, we'll just not throw that out. And so again, just trying to make it fair, trying to make it to where this is, like Terry said, a great cross section and an opportunity to celebrate the industry. Not just a popularity contest, not that kind of, and like Terry said, we love that. Get out there, get people talking about your business and your company and who you are and what you've done. And this is a time to have people celebrate who you are. I mean, honestly, every single person that gets nominated to me has won an award. I think I've been nominated a couple times over the years, and that to me was like, cool, I'm doing something right. So Terry's been nominated a couple times as well. So it's not about who wins the award. That's always fun. And you're going to get a plaque and a coffee mug. Okay. So it's not like, but again, we do love the fact that you guys love this, and we love to be able to present these awards each year, and the people that win definitely deserve to win. So it's
Aaron, hopefully trade shows will be starting up again. And how many times have we walked by a trade show booth and seen that plaque on display in the booth as industry's best customer service, or industry's best this, industry's best that. So this is a meaningful award when people get it. So make sure that you're out there nominating folks.
Yep. But again, Christine has a good point here. Well, she got three of them that I'd like to share real quick, Eric. Good idea is to widen the field by requiring full nomination slates, get you a more varied field of candidates. I like this idea. But then this one, fact checking is a good thing. People can make mistakes even when they have the best of intentions. Totally. Again, I think everybody comes to this with the right intention. So if there's a company out there that supported them and helped their business, they want to make sure to talk about it. And here's the deal. When we announce the actual people that are going to be in each category, we also go through the entire list of everybody that was nominated and share that name. So they're going to get airtime, even if they get nominated. So, it is important. And Christine then also follows that up with, it's an honor to be nominated, says the woman who gets nominated almost year and has never won.
There's a soap opera actress like that. I can't remember.
So Alan has the same point. I've been nominated and it's been honored, but did not win. It's not about winning. Was honored just to be recognized. Hey, you're looking at two guys that have been nominated that have not won either, and we made the darn awards. So
I think I would have probably been a little embarrassed to present myself with an award.
Yeah, if that does ever happen, I'm going to make you do that though. So.
Here's my plaque, my coffee mug.
Well, let's get into this, Terry. We'll get way, and we've got those 5 things we want to get to. So what's the first category?
First category is Best New Product of 2020. This category is for products that have made an impact on our industry in 2020 that were actually launched in 2020. So we only had a few trade shows at the very beginning, but I know there were a lot of new products that were at the Long Beach Impressions Expo, and at the DAC show in Kansas City, and the MBM show in Irving, the one day of the show. So and obviously people had to introduce products in different ways this year, but there are I'm sure lots of products that have impacted the industry. And last year's winner, by the way, was envelopes by Imbrilliance. So best new product.
Yeah, and here's the deal. This category has changed slightly. So we kind of in the past had said, best new product that has impacted the industry, and we didn't really specify a year. Kind of said, oh, it's really impacted the industry this year. But this year we decided to change that based on feedback that we got from regulators out there that apparently. And again, we don't know every single product so we'll be doing more digging this year than in years past. But, apparently we've had some products up for vote that maybe were around for a lot of years. In fact, I do know that one product was actually nominated a couple of years in a row, and I just totally missed that in my busyness of the fourth quarter. So anyhow, best new product category. Get over there and get nominating. Now, before I go any further, I guess, Terry, I will give away, and Eric, sorry to do this to you last second here, but if you want to go start nominating right now, look at this guy. He is amazing. Eric, high five, dude. tworeggularguys.com/REGGIES, REGGIES, and that will get you to the nomination form right away here. All right, Terry, next one here. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Best sales or customer service representative. So this is category to recognize a specific person who has stood out as someone who has supported our industry, helped people be successful in their business, and provided outstanding customer service or support. So last year's winner, Terry, and you'll see a theme here, was Lisa Shaw with Imbrilliance. So, but again, this could be a pretty wide ranging, people that are in the support roles, in customer service roles, in sales roles that are helping people out, things like that. Lots of different potential roles that are out there, but we're looking for somebody that kind of, oozes customer centricity. That's a really tough way to say. Do they care about their customers?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a sales rep, or it could be that person that you called 12 times this year for help with a product that you purchased from this company or that company, or so it could be technical support, anything like that. So
yeah,
that
totally.
Wide
open. Real quick, Terry. Sorry to interrupt before we get to the next one. Christine Shreve said you're thinking of Susan Lucci.
Yes, indeed. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
and then Jay says, is there a category for smart ass decorators? I have to bleep that out.
Yeah, well, I think most everybody would be nominated for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you listen to this program, you probably have a little bit of that in you. So,
Jay, in fact, I could just tell you're a winner, buddy.
And Dot Tone Dan is now accepting his nomination for President of the United States. So good. I'm glad we were able to take care of that. That'll save a lot of trouble coming up here at the 1st of November. We don't have to worry any longer. All right, Terry, what's the next one here?
Well, just like the previous category where we were talking about an individual, this is the company that provides the best customer service in 2020. The category is for a specific company that exemplifies what it means to be customer service oriented. We all should be customer service oriented, but this is somebody that's really going to stand out, or a company that does. Mm-hmm. These companies have specific policies in place that are customer service oriented and put their customer first in our industry. Last year's winner, Imbrilliance, just edged out the Rhinestone World for company with the best customer service.
Nice. Excellent. Okay. The next category here, Terry, I feel like I should have got a drum roll, but we'll save that for when we actually announce the winners. I will get a drum roll, and we will have a drum roll. Okay. All right. The next category is the best industry educator. So this category is to recognize the best educator in our industry during 2020. This is someone who writes for the industry magazines, presents seminars when they were able to present seminars, doing webinars, doing other educational content, providing people with with really good knowledge that helps improve our industry. Here on the Two Regular Guys, we are all about education. And so this is an award that's near and dear to our hearts for sure. They all are, but this one is great. Oh, Christine, I'll get to that in a second. So last year's winner, Lisa Shaw, edged out Matt Vasallo. So Lisa Shaw of Brilliance edged out Matt Vasallo. Again, anybody see a theme here?
Both of them, by the way, excellent educators. So
yes,
that was
indeed.
It's hard sometimes when you're looking at the nominees when it's time to vote, because you think, oh my gosh, these all these people on this list deserve to win this. The next category is Best Online Educational Content. And this category is to recognize the online blog, video platform, virtual event, training sessions, or other online platforms that provide the best educational content in our industry. If it is education on the internet, it fits in this category. And last year, to follow our theme, the winner was Brilliance YouTube channel that just by a couple of points edged out the Rhinestone World YouTube channel.
Yeah. Now this is slightly modified, I think, not terribly modified, but obviously in 2020, the requirement was almost going online and doing things online. So this can include things like virtual, quote unquote, trade shows, virtual seminars, virtual training, all that stuff. So last year, I think we were definitely a little more focused on kind of the YouTube channels and stuff like that. But, this category this year, pretty wide open. So I'm expecting a lot of different stuff in here. Probably going to be hard to pick out the top 5 to put into the voting, but we want to hear it all and we want to share it all. And my guess is when we are reading the nominees, this one will be going for a little while. So. All right, Terry. And then Christine said confetti cannon, Aaron. Yeah. And Jeff says my vote is with confetti cannon as well. Now, here's the deal. I don't remember exactly how long ago that was, but that was, I think, right at the start of COVID when we had Pete Loveless on, right?
Yeah. It was right after the ThreadX.
Yep. So sometime in probably early March, I'm guessing. And I set off that confetti cannon in here. When I went to turn on my light that's behind the monitor here this morning, I looked down and I discovered that I still have some confetti back there.
So no on the confetti cannon.
If I don't this time, if I do it, I'm gonna have to just cover the place in plastic first. So
it'll have to be like a locker room at the end of the Super Bowl where you come in and everything's covered in plastic.
Well, I am actually moving out of this office at the end of November, so that I can't remember. That might work out good. We just
did you pay a cleaning fee or?
Well, good point. Okay, never mind. All right. So Terry, real quick before we move on. So in years past, we had another category that would have been here called the Best Industry Trade Show or Event. So as we know, the year did not turn out as any of the trade show folks would have thought. There are people that are doing live events and they've all had to pivot and shuffle. And, we've been fortunate enough to get a lot of the folks on to talk about some of that stuff from Josh at Impressions Expo to Ruggs at NBM. We've had Scott Ritter from DAX, Cheryl over at the Sublimation Summit, and talked to a lot of people about what they're doing going forward. So, Terry, I guess
next week, Printing United.
Next week, Printing United. That's right. So, yeah. Anyhow, we're going to skip this category this year, Terry. It felt like the right thing to do. So, what are your thoughts there?
I agree. NBM might say, well, gosh, the one day of our show in Irving was really, really good, though. But yeah, I think that when with probably 90+% of the shows being canceled, I don't think that we'll be able to do this. But hopefully next year, we'll be right back at it. I think the shows are probably going to be starting a little bit later than anticipated. I know that NBM they're starting their show season, I believe, in May as opposed to at the beginning of the year. So hopefully that we'll get into some shows. I've also noticed, Aaron, I was putting together Terry's big book of travel for 2021. And I was putting in all the shows, and shows that used to be like Friday, Saturday are going to be like Tuesday, Wednesdays, and things like that, because all these event locations are trying to fit everybody in and do it later in the year. But we certainly want to tell everybody at the shows that, and certainly that have kept in touch with us and kept us updated, so we can update all of our listeners. I know it's been a hard year, and there's been some fallout. There are some folks who are no longer with the trade shows, and because of it. But we certainly appreciate everything you guys do, and we fingers crossed and positive thoughts for the coming year for all you guys and for the industry as well.
Yeah, indeed. So last year's winner, Terry, just to let everybody know, was the DAX Chicagoland show. So according to Scott, the last time I talked to him, that one is still on the books for 2021.
And Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, but the 6 previous years, it was Impressions Expo or ISS Long Beach, wasn't it, for every year?
I'm 99% sure that's correct. I don't know if Chicago won 2 years in a row, but from the beginning of the Reggies for at least 5 years, Impressions Expo Long Beach has won that award. So,
and I think there's a reason for that as well, because most of the shows are regional. If we go to Fort Worth, most of the people there are from Dallas, Fort Worth, or somewhere in Texas. But that Long Beach show being the first show of the year, plus it's January, and Long Beach is pretty nice in January. It's more of a national show, and I remember people from New York and Florida and all over the country coming to that show, and often the only show they would attend. So I think there was a reason for that. But Scott and Margie over at the DAX show do an awesome job with those DAX shows. So I'm certainly not surprised that they moved into the winner circle last year and possibly the year before.
Yeah, possibly. So, Charlie Tabley checking in. Appreciate you being here, Charlie. And Amanda, happy to do it. Appreciate everything you guys are doing for the industry. So I'm looking forward to actually talking to Mark over there at Printing United next week. Christine says, I think the trade shows have done a great job at taking things online, having virtual shows and doing virtual education. They've made as much lemonade as they could out of the lemons this year has produced. So,
when I get lemons, Aaron, I just like to make lemon slices because lemonade seems like a lot of work. So.
You just buy your lemonade pre-made. So. All right. I see how this goes. Scott says there needs to be a best industry podcast category. So we've never had that. We've never had that because we didn't want to come across as that. But, with the likelihood we wouldn't win, and that's okay. We maybe... Unfortunately, it's too late to add that this year, but I'm going to put that on the list. That's actually a really good idea. And again, not trying to get us to win an award. There are some wonderful industry podcasts.
Oh, absolutely. There's some great content out there.
Yeah. It's going on the whiteboard here on the wall. So.
All right. Well, Aaron, while you're doing that, I'm going to go to the next category. And this has changed up a little bit, but we're calling this the most influential up-and-comer in the industry for 2020. And this category is to recognize the under 40 crowd in our industry. The nominee should exemplify all the positive aspects of garment and product decoration. Before nominating, please be sure that the person is in fact under 40, because we get a lot of nominations for people that I've known that guy for 40 years. I'm certain he's not under 40.
Yeah. I know I look really young, but I am over 40. Okay, I just throwing that out there.
Well, the last year's winner was Sean Moreau. I believe that's how you pronounce Sean's last. I know everybody on a first name basis. It's so hard with the last name, but Sean's with the Rhinestone World and always out there. With advice and training. And so that was a great choice, picking Sean from the Rhinestone World last year.
Yep, definitely. All right, Terry. So the next category is the best guest on the Two Regular Guys podcast. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy. They had to be a guest in 2020. As the nominations go, there'll be a few other people that come on board. So, sometimes you get some late comers to the category, but man, we've had just a massive amount of amazing guests. When we get to do the women in garment decorating quarterly option, then you've got all of the guests that Christine brings in. We can have Christine as a guest. She's not only hosts the that program, and which would, to me, make her part of that category, but she's also been a guest herself where we've interviewed her. So definitely some great opportunities. If you're not real sure who all's been on in 2020, just head over to our website at tworegularguys.com. Every show, we have the show notes for every week, and you can go back and see who was there and check it out, and maybe rewatch and learn some stuff again. So
and thanks, by the way, Aaron, for you personally keeping that updated all the time. And we've done a lot of shows.
This is 372, by the way, Terry.
I was going to ask if you knew.
Yeah. It's it's cool though, because I've gotten a rhythm, so it kind of happens and it goes. But occasionally I get a little bit behind, especially when I have to have a show edited for removing some words that we can't put on Apple Podcasts. So
we will be removed ourselves, people. So we have to pay to have those words removed.
Yes, we have to. So it takes me a couple. I send it off to an editor. I used to do it myself, but it just takes too much time. So anyhow, all right. Best guest, Two Regular Guys. Terry, what's next? And this is
did you mention who the winner was?
Oh, I did not. You're right. Sorry. Last year's winner was Lisa Shaw.
Very good. Well, here's a new category. So we don't have a last year's winner. And this category, and it really is a spinoff from our quarterly show that you were just mentioning, Aaron. Mm-hmm. This is the award for women in garment decorating. And this is, as I said, based on our quarterly show in this category. It's meant to recognize the person who is doing the most to raise the profile of women in our industry. So as I mentioned, that's a new category. And I think that's going to be an exciting one. And certainly, I've been in this industry for a long time.
You don't want to say how long?
41 years. And and actually before that, because even when I was in college, I worked with the soft goods buyer at the college bookstore for 4 years. So I was involved in it in that way. That's really what got me to start a screen printing business, armed with my degree in journalism. But I think this is going to be when I first got in the industry, it was very, very male dominated. And as we see every year, more and more women coming into the industry, and it's very, very exciting. And I'm anxious to see, especially Aaron, every time we have a new category, it's always fun to see new people's names being brought up and nominated. So this will be fun to watch.
Yeah, this one is great. And we appreciate Christine helping us participate more in getting this kind of stuff out. And yeah, met so many amazing, great people. It's just such a cool opportunity. So looking forward to this award, as Terry said, new one. So not a last year's winner. Real quick, Terry, Todd asked, where did you go to college at?
I went to Ohio University. That is not Ohio State. Ohio University.
Yes, it's green instead of what is that, maroon or red or whatever.
They're scarlet and gray. Yeah,
scarlet gray.
And I'm not from Ohio, so no, I am not an Ohio State fan. So people, no matter where they go to school in Ohio, if they grew up in Ohio, they're all still Buckeye fans. But if you came from someplace else, you don't get it. Ohio University.
Ohio University. All right. Got it. Okay. A couple more categories here, and then we'll get to the 5 things. The next one, this is a new category, and this category was actually sent in by a regulator, Pilar, over at Pill Customs, emailed us at info@tworegularguys.com and had a nice long list of suggestions. So we really appreciate that. We kind of tried to distill them into one. A few things, but this one felt like it was a good opportunity to add something to the Reggies. We don't want this to turn into a 4-hour long. We've got 50 categories. We definitely want to kind of keep it at this.
Everybody gets a participation trophy.
Yeah. That's not what we're going for here. But at the same time, because that's what the nominations are for. Anyhow, this category, most inspirational / encouraging decorators community member. So this is for anybody in the industry, no matter their role, who has shown their ability to step above all of the fighting, debating, hand-wringing concerns, all that other stuff. And they really, truly lead with encouragement and motivation and inspiration. And don't worry about the negatives and focus on the positives. So this could be, group leaders, moderators,
or even that person that goes in there and just answers your questions in a kind and knowledgeable way.
Exactly. So, I mean, really what we're looking for here is just somebody that's always uplifting. I can think of a number of people, as we go through these things, Terry, I'm sitting there trying to think about what my nominations are going to be.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah. But you're like, oh crap, I got to nominate one person. So, you got to figure that out. But I mean, lots of wonderful people out there. And this is really cool because we definitely want to recognize that. So looking forward to seeing who's going to show up in that category this year, Terry.
Absolutely. All right, Aaron, the next category, and we got really excited about this one a few years ago when we added it to the list. And I think this is this category, it's best ambassador for the industry. And I think this is really an opportunity to recognize someone in the industry that represents our industry within and without and exemplifies all the positive aspects of garment and product decoration. And we've had some great winners over the years, and this is that award that says you are a great example of the industry in a very positive way. So last year's winner was Lisa Shaw, with Matt Vassallo just right behind her, and both obviously great ambassadors for the industry. So give this a lot of thought. When you are making your nominations, and there's probably a couple of people that you look up to in the industry. This is a really, really awesome way to recognize them. Yeah,
definitely. In fact, a past winner, Eric Campbell, said having won this one, it was a super proud moment. So, this is definitely, like I said,
much deserved. So.
Yeah. This is that. I don't know. What do we? I think when we first came out with this, we kind of called it the best actor award. I don't know. It's kind of like our big one. The big guy of the thing. So
that's picture.
Indeed. So, all right, Terry. Well, nominations are going to close on November 5th at 5 p.m. Central Time.
Because Central Time is the center of the universe.
Exactly. I don't even work. Yeah. So, and then if you'll go over to tworegularguys.com/REGGIEs. In fact, I am going to push buttons, Eric, sorry, and put this up here real quick. Here's the nomination form. And you can see there's a countdown clock, so you know exactly how long you've got to get your stuff in. And then again, all of these, you can see the little red stars over there. So these are all required. So put something in. Again, I appreciate it if you try to make sure that you put something in, but if you really, really can't come up with one, an NA will be fine on just a few of these. But if it's you vote in one category and all the rest are NAs, we'll just be tossing that nomination out. So sounds good, Terry?
Well, we'll be looking for hanging chads, and we may have to toss yours out, but yeah, get over there and participate. And Aaron, you said this at the beginning, but I want to repeat it. You get one set of votes. I get one. I get one vote for every category, and nothing more than that. And we don't ever do anything to weight this one way or the other. In fact, one year I recall somebody called up and said, "Hey, XYZ company didn't realize this was happening. So can you extend the voting?" No, we won't. There's the deadline.
Yeah. And in fact, they went so far as to, they said, "Oh, okay, well, make sure that you contacted Two Regular Guys to get us in there." And we got over 1,000 emails, and all of them got the same canned response of no. Better luck next year.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Hey, this is what it's all about. It's about having some fun, but it's also about recognizing people that deserve to be recognized. And I think right there was just a recognition of what they do in their space, and their customers love them. So, what are you doing in your space that makes your customers love you enough that they're going to spam our inboxes? Please don't. Sorry, I don't even know why I said that. All right. Before I say anything else stupid, Terry, let's get in beyond that. If anybody has any questions, comments, things to share, please share in the comments section here. But let's hit this 5 things. Terry, you want to do that real quick here?
Yeah,
Since
absolutely.
We're in bonus time.
Yeah, let's do it.
As usual. We don't have enough. Let's add more.
And you and I going back and forth last night at, I don't know, it's like 11 o'clock for me. So it was 1 a.m. for you.
And Eric was just
Working
getting
away.
into work. Yeah. All right. So Terry, before we do this 5 things here, though, this is definitely something that has been popular in the past, and I know you really love it too. And I think it's a great thing, and I appreciate you kind of hanging on and making sure that we push forward, because I would like to see this resurrected here, but we do need help from you guys, the regulators. So first and foremost, Terry, I'm really excited that you want to put 5 things back. And then I'm also really excited about the topic that you chose for us to discuss here today, 5 important decisions to make your business better. Because this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart, the things that we're going to talk about here. So I'll try not to talk too long or too much, but you know how that'll go.
Well, and Aaron, many of our shows really come down to this as well. How do I make my business better, or how do I start my business?
Yeah, exactly. So this is not actually part of what we're going to talk about in the 5 things here, Terry. But to me, this particular statement I'm going to make here is so important to your business that it transcends the list. It's like it should just be a given and automatic. All right. So that decision is to decide to make your business better by deciding to work on the business, not in the business. So one more time, the choice of deciding to work on the business, not in the business. So, and that's what these 5 things are really all about to me, Terry, is working on your business. Yeah,
exactly. Now we're going to do things a little bit differently for this 5 things. And our regular listeners probably remember us doing 5 things. Mm-hmm. And we want to go back to it here in 2020 and 2021. But today we're going to have a little bit more of a discussion. But the ultimate goal is just a list of 5 things to make you think, and without any extra discussion, just 5 things to ponder that you can share. And we want these from our listeners. We want a list of 5 things, and so take the first sentence of all these that we're going to do, and imagine that being your list of 5 things. But we did want to spend a little extra time talking about this as we introduce its 5 things.
Excellent. Yes. And like Terry said, this is, so you've got something to think about between, I don't know, I called it your fix of 2 regular guys. We're not on every day. It's only once a week. So you've got 6 other days to be thinking about your business here. So, all right, Terry. So let's do number 1. Are we ready for number 1 here?
We're ready. Let's do it.
Okay. I got number 1 here. Determine your why. This is a decision thing that we need to determine for making our business better. Because here's the deal, Terry. Your why is going to be at the intersection of your core values, your passions, and the opposite of your oppositions. So, in fact, I even have a little infographic for this here.
Wow, I didn't do slides.
I'm sorry. So this is the where your why is going to be. It's going to be, again, right there at that intersection of your core values, what you're passionate about, and what you're opposed to, and what's the opposite of what you're opposed to. So let me give you an example, and you can take down the infographic there, Eric. Thank you so much. So for me, my why is providing resources that empower business owners to achieve their idea of success. And this is actually something I've developed through our success group with Todd, and that's kind of the motto of our success group. But here's the deal. One of my core values is being solution oriented and then making a significant impact. So for me, that I connect to this because that's the providing resources part to come up with solutions and make impacts on people's businesses. The second part, the passionate part, I'm passionate about small business, and I'm passionate about our decorators community. That's why we talk about stuff for hour 20 minutes, however long it ends up going these days. I've got that passion. So that's where business owners and their achieving comes from. That's kind of that intersection there. And then lastly, I'm not a big fan of kind of moochers, exploiters, kind of righteousness. So the opposite of the things that I'm not a fan of are kind of lazy people. So that's where empowered businesses come from. People that are empowered to take action on their own. That's what empowered means to me. And then the opposite of righteousness or talking down to people, like some of the other quote unquote tribes out there, the empowered thing. We want to empower them to their idea of success. It's a no judgment zone. I don't, if you just want to, do this as a side gig, perfect. If you want to make millions of dollars, go for it. I want to be there to support you. So I just kind of wanted to explain how I found my why and how maybe you can find your why. It's that intersection. But this process is something that we actually spent an entire training session on in our success group. This has been a process for me that's taken, to get to this point, and I'm sure I'll continue to tweak it, has taken several years of doing specific things. I did a Strengths Finder program to try to learn what my core values are, have been working on this, writing this, having conversations with people around me about it. So, determining your why is important, but it's not just something I can sit down and do this afternoon. So,
Right.
Go ahead, Terry.
I was just going to say, when I saw this category that you had written out, I started thinking about it for myself. And then I thought, well, it's right on my business card. My business card says terrycombs.com, and then it says how to print better, smarter, faster. And the whole purpose of all the educational things I do is really to kind of get through that cloud of bad information, misinformation. And when I started doing classes many years ago, there was not that much information out there. Well, now it's a deluge of information, and unfortunately, most of the new information out there is bad information. It's poor information. So, and for me, I come from a background of production, and so I like to share my 41 years of standing in the middle of my production floor, scratching my head going, there has got to be a better way to do this.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's my why, Aaron.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And again, those intersect all the things that you're all about. And so once you can determine that, though, Terry, the cool part is that now you've got a guiding light, a guidepost, so to speak,
right,
so that you can make all your decisions off of. Because
exactly,
when something comes in front of you and you say, am I going to do this or am I not going to do this? Then you look back at what your why is and go, does it click? Does it fit with that? If it fits, do it and figure it out. If it doesn't fit, don't do it. Move on. So that's a big, huge thing. And I think that people could spend a little more time on that, and that would really help their businesses. So what's number two, Terry?
Get out your yellow junior legal pad and start making notes.
Yeah, indeed. I love it. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Number two is mine. And this is, and this is really something that I feel has really transpired over the last 5, 8, 10 years. But every business needs to do this now. You have to decide who you are. And after you determine that, tell your story to the world. And your story doesn't have to be epic. It just has to be real. And in this new world, especially in this new world of social media, people want to buy from companies or from individuals that make them feel good, make them feel warm and fuzzy inside. And I know I've told this story before, and I just want to tell it real quickly. But a good friend of the show, Mel Lay, with All Made Apparel. She, when she first got into the business, she was working in her garage doing 1 and 2 color prints at night because she didn't want to put her kids in daycare. She wanted to stay home with her kids. And so, but she videoed herself printing and talking about her goals and her dreams. And here's why I do this. And I just loved when she first got on Instagram, a picture of all of her equipment still in crates. And it said, go on this journey with me. Well, everybody needs to do that. Everybody needs to not only make a great product, but tell your customers or your potential customers why and who you are and why it's important to buy from my company or your company or tell your story. That's number 2.
I love it. That's a great one, Terry. And I love the fact that you shared that it doesn't have to be epic. I do feel like people kind of get a little caught up in that, and they see other people that, are out there doing different stuff that, like, oh, maybe I should be doing more. No, you should be doing you. You do what you are all about. Tell your story, make it real, and that will make it epic to the right people.
Right.
Because a lot of times, people see out there, oh, somebody's doing all this stuff and they're out there to, quote unquote, change the world. And to a lot of people, that feels a little too big. That feels like I can't connect with that person. I don't get it. I'm not at that level. I'm not, I've got my world that I'm involved with that I need to, take care of my family and like the community around me and, something specific that's going on. And so they're looking for somebody that they can connect with at their level, So if you feel like yours isn't big enough, then don't worry about trying to make yours bigger. Be who you are, because there are plenty of people right there in that same. And again, it's not like a higher or lower level. It's just, kind of where you fit, So I'm glad that you said that. I think that's really important, that just be real. It doesn't have to be epic, but exactly. Telling your story is important. Cool. All right. Tanya says, people really respond when you open up about yourself and what you have going on. Absolutely. As humans, that's how that's how we've evolved. That's how we've gotten to where we're at as a species, is that we do care about fellow humans at a deep level. And so it when we hear something, we want to help. And that's how we've evolved to be where we're at. So, and then more tongue in cheek, but I think this is pretty funny. Jeff says, I have all the fuzzies, but none of the warm. All right. I know we're into bonus time here. So, and I know these are things that I'll talk about forever. So I'm going to keep moving. Number 3, Terry, find your niche. So one of the most common things that I hear people struggle with, and believe, is this finding your niche. And I believe part of the struggle, to me, is I feel like they're looking at this from the wrong direction. If that makes some sense, so they're trying to match their existing customers, their kind of existing sphere of knowledge, their existing, for lack of a better term, this is what I do, quote unquote, to a niche. And so they're going that way with it. They're trying to shoehorn themselves into what they already know. Does that seem to make some sense, Terry? I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense here, but what really finding your niche is actually the other way around. So it should be more about who you want to attract to your business and what your vision is of that perfect business, that perfect partnership, or that perfect way of doing business. And then kind of extrapolate the niche going that direction. So for example, Terry, if your existing customers, your existing sphere of knowledge, your existing, this is what I do, doesn't fit in to what your perfect business looks like, then all that means is it's just time to get to work on changing that, and changing that and making your niche what your connection point is. I'll tell a really quick story that I heard from a gentleman named Mark Victor Hansen, who's somebody worth reading up on. I think he's got some good information, but he tells a story about a dentist who, now people that are dentists, that's actually an interesting profession, because dentists have one of the highest suicide rates of any profession. This is a little known fact, but it's actually true. It's mainly because, who wants to go to the dentist? It's not, people don't go, oh my God, I want to be a dentist. Yeah, that kind of thing. So anyhow, this guy was a dentist. He had that practice where, he hated going to work. People didn't like being there, dreary, all that kind of other stuff. And he went on a vacation, and he decided on that vacation that he didn't want to do that anymore. He wanted to make his practice exactly how he wanted to be. He wanted people that wanted to be there, both employees, customers, all this other stuff. And so he decided that this is what his perfect practice was going to look like. And he just went back and he just started making changes. He changed the title of his dental assistants to like customer wow specialist or whatever. It just kind of did all these things that maybe seem a little crazy and out there. And when you're doing them, it feels that way. It feels a little crazy and out there. But if you stick to it, he became the highest paid dentist in Australia. And in fact, has a waiting list of people that want to be his clients. And basically, if they don't fit into his mold and or want to be there, he doesn't accept them. He turns away business all the time, not as from a rude standpoint, but like, this is the business that I want to have. I want you to have the same wonderful experience. If you don't fit into my wonderful experience, I can give you a list of, several other dentists that would be more suited for you. So anyhow, it's an interesting story, but the point being that he decided what he want and then created his niche instead of going, okay, here's what I'm doing. Where's my niche inside of this? Does that make sense?
It does indeed. And it's so important to have your niche, or maybe 2 or 3 niches that you work within. And here's the biggest reason for me. And it's, you become the expert in that marketplace. And it's very, very difficult for people to compete with you when you are the expert and you own that marketplace, because you understand it inside and out, and
you love it.
Exactly right. So it's a great opportunity, but you can't be everything to everybody. So and it also it makes a better environment for your employees, because if you're focused on a niche, then they can become also expert at producing those products or dealing with those customers, that sort of thing as well. So
yeah, I love it. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, what's number 4, Terry?
Number 4 is kind of a quick one, but I think important, especially today. Decide what complementary technology might help you expand your business. And it's a new world of decorating where it's very, very rare today that someone is just an embroiderer or just a sublimation print decorator or just a screen printer. Mm-hmm. And what complements your business, and part of that is what business are you turning away that will fit in your niche, but you can't fully service that customer, and maybe it's stickers, or maybe it's the ability to do short runs for school stores or whatever it is. But sit down and think about what's going to complement what I'm doing now that will help me expand my business or maintain my business.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
A quick one.
Yeah, I like it. And one of the things that you can do in this arena to help you figure that out without having to make huge investments is figure out if there's some people that you can partner with to kind of start off and just see if you can build that, and then use that opportunity to build the market in that space. And then go buy the equipment after you understand the process. You kind of using that partnership to learn that part of things, how things need to go, fix problems and all that other stuff. Because then when you are the one that it has all the responsibility for it, it's a lot easier because you already learned some things. So
exactly. You've already made mistakes that didn't cost you a fortune.
Exactly. All right. Well, speaking of costing you a fortune, number 5, Terry, and this is one that I think good to wrap up on. Some great stuff from you there. Know your numbers. How much does it cost you to be in business every day? And are you factoring that into your pricing? How about unexpected costs? Things happen. You have to get a new insurance policy. I mean, there's all sorts of different things that could happen. We all know that there's going to be unexpected costs that come up. But if you're not thinking about that when you're creating your price list, those unexpected costs are going to hurt. If you've tried to give yourself a little cushion when you come up with your pricing, those unexpected costs are more of just an annoyance than a massive pain point, because you've built that in there. Here's the thing that I find a lot in all of the work that I've been able to do with companies that are building and growing is you have a lot more room in your pricing than you realize. And normally we're the ones that cause us to go, oh, I need to, lower my prices a little bit. It's not truly because your customers are telling you that your prices are too high. You just feel that way because you haven't believed in yourself enough, because your true customers, the ones you want to be doing business with, the ones that are attracted to your why that we talked about, the ones that fit into your niche, the ones that resonate with the story that Terry talked about, they're going to be willing to pay the price that you need to make a profit. A profit's not a dirty word. So, know your numbers is the only way that you can actually determine if I'm making a profit or not. So, even if you're just starting or new, or even if you've been doing this for a while, it's worth kind of taking some time, on an annual basis, at least to kind of sit down and go, okay, am I really making the money that I'm making? And do I need to adjust my prices? And more often than not, people, when they take the time to do that, will say, yeah, I do probably need to raise my prices a little bit. So,
and Aaron, one thing about this too is, especially if you're early on or you haven't been keeping track, some of this, you might start out with just educated guesstimates, and
sure,
and then you can hone it down. But you need to at least sit down and guess what your expenses
correct,
are going to be and that sort of thing. So
yeah, no, that's a really good point. And yes, I think that's a great thing because don't let the fact that you don't know those things stop you from doing this. I think that's a wonderful point, Terry, and I appreciate you making that educated guess is going to be a perfect place to start, because you got to start somewhere. So make that educated guess. But again, I like to err on the high side, because here's the way it works for me. If I err on the high side of things, then I know that even if I sell at my quote unquote cost on the high side of things, I'm still making money because I've padded that in there. So I actually have a lot of wiggle room to go, because I actually have this padding in here that helps me kind of get over that concern about, oh crap. I mean, heck, who knew that, if you're shipping post office right now, we're about 3 days away from the prices going up pretty substantially here. Were you prepared for that in your pricing? What are you going to do about that? I don't,
or are you panicked right now because you didn't know that?
No, yeah, that's a good point. If you didn't know that, go check that out. All the package shipping is going to go up about 24 to 25 cents in some cases, but even more in other cases, depending on first class mail versus priority and stuff like that. Anyhow, all right. So that's our 5 things, Terry. What do you think?
So all the regulators out there, if you would like to present 5 things, and it's just 5 quick points on any subject, whether it's advice, 5 instructional steps, we would love to hear from you. You can come on the show and present your 5 things yourself. We'll share your list for you, or we'll play a recording of you giving your 5. But we love this concept, and we really want to revive it. And whatever easiest way for you to present your 5 things, but start jotting down some ideas of its 5 things, and we'd love to have you guys out here being part of the show and sharing with the industry, sharing your knowledge with the industry.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love it. And thanks very much, Terry, for carrying the flag on this one. I do agree. This is a great thing, and I let it go. So appreciate you bringing it back. All right, Terry. Well, what else do you have coming up? Well, you mentioned the big book of travel already today. What's happening?
Yeah. I have some things that are going to be announced that I will be doing towards the end of this year and next year, working with a couple of different companies that I've worked with in the past to do some tweaked training a little bit. I'm actually doing a project with Jay Bassell as well that we'll be announcing soon. I'm spending this weekend, Aaron. I've got nothing going on, and I'm just going to be working on my new book, and I'm going to be making plans for 2021. So my new novel, by the way, Beer, Bait, and Barbecue, is going to be available for Christmas. So
all right,
going to be able to buy it on Amazon.
There you go. What's your other novel?
That's sometimes Jennifer. Sometimes Jennifer, and these are all paranormal novels, but sometimes Jennifer is available on Amazon as well. And that's the book that Dane Clement came into the shoe bar and said, "Terry Combs, you wrote a book. I love it, man."
Awesome.
Every time I see him, he says, "When's that next book coming out?"
Well, here it is. So next book before Christmas. So Terry, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What does before Christmas mean? Can you give us a specific date?
Oh, it's nearly done now, to be honest. So I'm just giving myself a little padding. Let's say probably December 15th.
December 15th. All right.
Yeah.
You heard
You're
it here.
writing that down, aren't you?
I am writing it down. I'm writing it down. So December 15th, everybody, Beer, Bait, and Barbecue will be available on Amazon. And if not, we can flog Terry for it.
Exactly. Please do.
You know what? Here's the deal. Since you're putting yourself out there and you're putting a date on this, Terry, I'm going to also do something in return, because I should have done this with sometimes Jennifer, but I will buy it and I will read it.
All right. Very good. Okay. Awesome. I'd love to hear it.
All right, cool.
There are several listeners, several regulators who read Sometimes Jennifer, and very complimentary about it. So
good.
And hopefully not just because they want to be friends with me on the show.
You know me, Terry. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, I know you will.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I know you're a fantastic writer. I've just not been a very much of a nonfiction reader, but I need to step that up more, because I know that is good for me and my soul. So, all right, Terry. For me, Small Business Saturday is happening tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Central Time, center of the universe. So I will be doing that. Tomorrow's discussion is about vision, plan, motivation. So you can check that out over at liveosg.com or at facebook.com/our success group pro. You can watch either place there and participate in a live chat and conversation again about vision, plan, and motivation. And then actually I've got starting the week after, so I can't remember the exact date. Let's see, that should be 17th, maybe something like that, whatever that next Saturday is, a week from this Saturday. I'm starting a 10-week series over there on Small Business Saturdays, and it's going to be a 10-week program of going through the success principles. I'm going to be getting or at least applying for my certification of the success principles training by the end of the year. So I'm going to do this as kind of a quick refresher to make sure that when I take my test and submit my essays, I'm really pumped up about it. So, and I think it's going to be awesome for people to go through this program. I've got some videos from Jack Canfield we'll be going through, and worksheets, and looking forward to it. So, Small Business Saturdays. So, yeah, thank you. And then Eric, you want to share what Eric's got coming up here, Terry?
Yeah, absolutely. Join Eric on his show today at 2:30 Mountain Daylight Time for the Take Up. Today it's all about making the most of stock embroidery designs, and you can catch him on facebook.com/eric.campbell, and he's putting it all up there for us. And also, Demystifying Next Level Digitizing webinar is now recorded form, better running, bolder, and more beautiful embroidery with a faster cycle from concept to completion. And you can go to Eric's webinar at bit.ly/EricDD, and I'm sure that's up on the screen. There it is. And Eric, I have to tell you, earlier I mentioned that a shout out that we did with Ron Goodwin, and he says, I don't do embroidery, but man, I just love to listen to Eric Campbell when he does his presentation. So it's a great compliment to you yesterday, and I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's nice of Ron to say. I honestly, I feel the same way. I find myself jumping in and talking about stuff that I had no clue about. But I just enjoy watching Eric share with such passion. So really good stuff coming from Eric. So check all that out. Jewel asked what time for Small Business Saturday. That is 12:30 Central Time. So let's see, that'd be 1:30 Eastern, 11:30 Mountain and then 10:30 Pacific and Terry time and whatever else is over there. West Coast people are. I was kidding. All right, but make sure that you're checking out first and foremost today the take up at 2:30 Mountain Time with Eric. All right, Terry. I think that does it for today. We have plenty of bonus time again. So we come to the close of another show. Next week we'll be talking about Printing United's new digital event with Mark Subers, and hopefully I'll get his name right next week if I didn't get that right now. He is the president of events over at Printing United. Plus, we're going to ask him to share some insider tips about what the association's been learning about coping with COVID and the outlook and trends we should be paying attention to. So we're going to kind of get double bonus. We're going to learn about their digital experience coming up. It sounds like a great one that you and I got a chance to get a little sneak peek of earlier this week. And then also I'll squeeze some more information out of him. So
yeah, Aaron, we were invited to the press briefing and some very impressive things that they're doing over at Printed United. So that'll be a really interesting show to share and talk about what they have coming up very, very soon. So
yeah,
but
looking forward to that.
Yeah. So, hey, we want to thank Eric again, Eric Campbell, who you can find him at ericcampbell.com and we really want to thank Eric for all of his efforts to make Two Regular Guys what it is from behind the scenes. So thank you very much, Eric, for all you do. And hopefully you can get some sleep. All right. So we'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Terry Combs. He's Aaron Montgomery.
And we are the Two Regular Guys. Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.